Yo, what's up, everybody? Man, how was that Mac Jones Pro Day? I'm just kidding. We'll get into that right now. I'm gonna let everybody settle in because we are here on YouTube. I didn't. I decided to do an executive decision and not go on Twitter, um, because like Twitter's great, but we really want to start facilitating people to come into YouTube. That's how you grow the platform. That's how you allow Jason and I to go ahead and start talking on situations like this and go live. But let's go ahead and get into it, Jason. Like what did you see from Mac Jones? Is there anything you saw that you liked first, and then we could get into what you didn't like, unless it's everything you didn't like.
No, it's everything that you like from him, you've seen. You've seen all those things, the throws in the intermediate range and things like that. I honestly, it reminded me so much of what we saw in Mobile, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so strange to me because I'm not trying to be elitist or anything like that. We were there. We saw with
Mm-hmm.
our eyes. And then when you look on the internet, people are like, he impressed in Mobile. That was not the buzz in Mobile at all. I don't
Right.
understand. So it's like you cherry pick that one throw that made the rounds
Mm-hmm.
on the internet, and you show that over and over and over, but you left out the 10 to 15 bad plays he had on there. And I didn't understand that. I don't understand why the narrative around him was so large when he looks like a good quarterback, solid, but he wasn't impressive in Mobile. I didn't walk away from watching his film and watching him practice and say, oh man, look at Mac Jones. It looks
Right.
so similar to what we saw in Mobile. That's what's so concerning. And now people got a chance to watch that fully on the pro day. And I think the consensus is he didn't look that good. So are you
Mm-hmm.
guys getting it now? Are you going to start listening to us? Because the pundits will tell you one thing and they'll show you one clip over and over. Yeah, he did catch a touchdown. Oh, Najee from the Wildcat. That's the new hashtag. Just run Najee from the Wildcat. But it's just funny to me. It's really funny to me because I even had the I had some doubt with myself. Like, am I not seeing something? Am I
Mm-hmm.
am I like am I wrong? Is my evaluation off? But now you
Uh,
see what I saw, and now people are like, yeah, I don't know. That wasn't that impressive. God.
yeah, that's where I struggle is like I don't put much stock in pro days because these guys are just in gym shorts, they're in gym shirts, and they're just slinging the ball. Nope, like Casper's out there pass rushing, Casper's out there covering. So it's more timing. But the thing that's scary is that they wanted this pro day to be more of off script, showcase him more as like this athlete rather than this guy that just stands there like a tree. Well, fuck, if that's what you guys wanted to showcase, it looked bad. Where I have trouble is Davis Mills pro day looked a lot better than Mac Jones. Davis Mills is not a better quarterback than Mac Jones, but it's the fact of what this pro day was designed to do was off script. We saw like when Jimmy is able to just sit back there and do rhythm timing passes, people aren't in his face. Jimmy Garoppolo's a solid quarterback, and that's why they won a lot of football games with him. And Mac Jones didn't face a pressure really at Alabama. That offensive line shored things up for him. To where my concern is you're going to invest 3 first round picks in this guy. You sold 2, but you're investing 3. Are you going to invest 3 for the same guy that Jimmy is, to where if he's getting a pass rush, he's going to be what we saw today? Inaccurate, terrible timing. How many deep balls did he overthrow? It was more than I could count on this single hand. And that's not good when Casper's pass rushing you and Casper's playing DB back there. That's not good. And so I got a red flag on Mac Jones now. Um, I was comfortable with Mac Jones before the trade up, saying picking him at 12. I don't think I would have been comfortable picking him at 12 after today, because in the NFL, a ton of it's going to be off script. And you either got to be very cerebral, like a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, to be able to attack before you get attacked. I don't know if Mac Jones is that cerebral. I can't even say that. I don't think anyone can because he hasn't even taken one snap in the NFL yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that this guy lacked his athleticism in gym shorts and a t-shirt, like that's just a big, big, big red flag for me. Even if they were at pick 12, I would have been uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he'll be fine. And you can't really just slam the guy because of a pro day. I just was happy that people were able to see this because that's what I saw with my eyes in Mobile, and that's what was concerning to me. So, yeah, is there a world where he's going to be a fine quarterback? I still think that. This pro day doesn't make me think that. But what this pro day showed me is it better not be Mac at 3. No. I swear.
Yeah, like I think he'll be a fine quarterback too, and that's why I comped him to Jimmy because Jimmy's a fine quarterback as well. It's just once you start having the pressure on your shoulders, you got guys running in your face, you're facing different looks. Like there seems to be a little more struggle there. But hey, I think he could win in this league. I think he could be fine, but I'm not taking him at pick 3. And frankly, if they were still at pick 12, I'm not taking him at pick 12. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think about the good outside of that gumpy looking, I jumped for no reason touchdown catch. Like, I don't know if there was anything good that he hit Najee Harris pretty good out of the running back, hitting him on the flat. Like that was pretty good in stride.
I mean, much of what he did good in here is the stuff that you already knew, and that's the thing,
Yeah. So, should we talk Justin Fields? Should we?
Yes.
You good?
Please.
You good?
Yes.
You good?
I'm great. I'm great.
Let's do it. Justin Fields. Obviously, Shanahan. If you guys saw on TV, Shanahan and John Lynch were in Tuscaloosa with Mac Jones. I don't know how much that had to do with Mac Jones or rub elbows with Bill Belichick since they were with him the whole goddamn time, like if they were best friends.
Now who's wearing the tinfoil hat? You.
Me. Yeah. But they did have Adam Peters in Columbus, Ohio. So the 49ers did have a presence. They did state it. 31 of 32 teams there outside of the Rams because the Rams aren't visiting anybody for whatever reason. But let's go ahead and talk about it. 49ers, they were in Columbus. Justin Fields looks good in red. I'll say that. I'll let you kick it off. Looks good in red, though.
Yeah. So in the beginning, he was just warming up a little bit, that's what I was researching myself is that all this stuff is planned out. So this one was planned out where it was going to say, hey, under center for a little while, intermediate throws into tight windows. Then we're going to show you something with pressure, and then we're going to let him air it out. And you could tell he kept gaining steam. He hit throws, and then finally, like he was getting into a rhythm, and and when he started heating up, that's everything that you want. Back, rolling out on the wrong foot, 60-yard dot, wrong side, just moving, just lifting himself up off the ground and getting rid of it, man. Another thing that I really noticed is he never really looked frazzled. Anything that ever happened when it comes to, maybe a drop pass, maybe something that he overthrew, didn't ball place right. Like he just has this air about him of just confidence. And I know that that's not tangible. That's not something that you can quantify with measurements, but it does matter when it comes to playing quarterback. You have to be unflappable. You have to be able to bounce right back when something happens. And there's something about Justin Fields that it's there, the aura, the confidence, it's QB time like that. And that's what I'm talking about. The throws are just there. We knew the throws were all going to be there, man, but he showed out. He really did. And honestly, I saw the comment from Cynthia. Matt's joining me on the sim train. All aboard, fam. And I was, and it's not like I'm leading this, so like that's not it. But I think that what Cynthia said is now I get a little bit nervous now about the Jets saying, you know what, screw it, we're going with Justin Fields, which would leave us with either Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, and you can't be mad at that. But damn it, if I don't want to see Justin Fields in red and gold with Kyle Shanahan, man, I really just want that at 3.
Yeah, I do too. Just really quick, if you guys are tuned in and subscribe, as you can see on there, to Jason's YouTube channel as well as the 49ers Gold Mine. We're going to be linking up quite a bit. I'm here at home most of the time, so I think Jay is too. I don't know. He might be in the streets a little bit.
Whoa, what?
I'm just messing with you. But yeah, I'm on that same simp train. Like I was, because my dad's a big 49er fan. That's kind of why I was born into it. I say is there was no way my dad was going to allow me to be a fan of a different team. He was a little questionable about Fields. A little bit, how old heads are sometimes. Yes, Dad, if you're watching, I called you an old head.
I didn't say that.
But with Fields after today, he was like, yes, I want this guy. He showed zip. Basically everything you saw on tape confirmed it. Was like, this guy's a baller. He's a competitor. There was a route that he didn't hit to his tight end. He went off script and made his tight end do the same route so that they could get that down, show everybody like, hey, yes, I'm running this thing. I got it. It's just that off balance throw to, I believe it was his tight end running to his left. Like, imagine we've all picked up a football and try to be, for myself, I was thinking a little bit like Steve Young or Michael Vick, depending what age group you are. And you always picture yourself rolling out, trying to hit darts and stuff. It is so damn difficult. It is so difficult. And then especially running to your left and hitting a 60 shot accurately in stride.
65 in the air.
Now imagine that with Kyle Shanahan calling plays. Imagine that with George Kittle as your tight end. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. It's in the Y leak that you love to say.
I do. I love it. I mean, just when it gets hit. I love when the play gets hit. When it doesn't get hit, it's just like the worst thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, so it's like basically like Matt saying here is we were all Justin Fields. If you saw us on Twitter on the timeline, we were all big simps on Justin Fields. And then after today, it was basically head-to-head versus Mac Jones. When teams are playing against each other, quarterbacks normally they're not playing head-to-head. It's quarterback versus the defense. And today it was head-to-head. What throws can which guy make? Especially that Mac Jones' script was to showcase off-balance, pressured type of throws, and it just was not it. And Justin Fields showed it like, yeah, I wake up and I do this. This is nothing to me.
Another thing too is just, man, again, I keep going back to the confidence factor. The guy just looks like he's in control. Like he just looks like he knows exactly what he's doing. And then what I wanted to talk back at, because it just came back to me. When you heard the press conference and you heard, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan made no bones about what they were going to do, what they're going to do at 3 with quarterback. But I thought the most telling thing was, Kyle Shanahan saying, yeah, you want somebody who's going to be in the pocket and he's going to have good pocket presence, but you also need somebody to, when things get off script, like Mahomes, to make things happen. He goes, and I think everybody wants that. Right there, that let me know for a fact that that's not Mac Jones. And again, you alluded to it. You moved up from that spot. You spent all of that to get Mac Jones at 3. I think that this is why Coach was so upset when they brought up the Kirk Cousins thing, because everybody seems to believe that Kirk Cousins is the embodiment of his perfect quarterback. He just loves Kirk because he's smart, things like that. But he got a little upset when he was talking about that, because he kind of was just like, that's not how you draw it up. You kind of just go with what you have. So that's why all those things led me to believe in no way is Mac Jones ever the pick. And if the pro day had anything to do with it, then that really makes him not the pick at this point. So it's just, I didn't see anything really from Mac Jones that made me say, oh man. But when you watch Justin Fields throw the ball, it's just, there's an it factor to it. There's a little bit more that you can't quantify with measurables. It's just an it factor. Checks every box. Exactly. The interview afterwards. That's what I mean. Leader of men. Walk in the room and command the presence. Know that men are going to go ride for you. Like, that's the sort of thing that he has. And that's what I'm talking about.
A big reason why the Bengals took Joe Burrow last season was because they mentioned he was a leader of men. He went in that locker room and basically owned it, and having no fear for being a rookie to tell 32-year-old men, this is my fucking team and you guys are riding with me. That's what they loved about Joe Burrow. And you get that same kind of presence with Justin Fields to where he has that confidence is sky high, like Kendrick Bourne. This is kind of what I related his personality to is Kendrick Bourne, because this guy just loves the game, goes out there, has fun.
It's infectious.
Seems like no stage is too much pressure for him. Yeah, his team lost the national championship to Mac Jones, but he balled out, and it wasn't necessarily he did as much as he can. He was also playing hurt. Like, there was a lot of quarterbacks that don't stay in that Clemson game in the semifinals, but yet that's what leader of men do. They'll do whatever it takes to go ahead and lead that team, and that's where he checks all the boxes. Interviews great. I'm gonna have to go ahead and watch QB1 all over again on Netflix with Justin Fields, because that's gonna be my quarterback. And I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but I do think the Jets, they take Wilson, and that's going to leave Fields in the 49ers laps. And he's a guy that could start day one. That's why Bill Belichick may be in Shanahan's ear after Mac Jones's pro day. I saw a viral video after Mac Jones missed a pass of Bill Belichick shaking his head. That could cause them to be a little more desperate for Jimmy Garoppolo, because the Patriots sitting at 15, they're not getting Fields. They're not getting Lance. Mac Jones maybe not as well. Mac Jones probably still going top 10.
Yeah. I mean, all those things, again, tinfoil hat on, all that stuff matters. But I thought it was funny that he missed a wide open throw, and it looked just like and they panned right to Kyle and John, and they both were just like, and you could see Kyle, like, he's like, what moment he was thinking about. We don't have to talk about it, but you just see Kyle again, like he just, all I saw was helicopters going across his face. Like, he was just like, he remembered that immediately brought it back to him.
Do you think Kyle being physically present at Mac Jones' pro day raised his thoughts on Justin Fields, or did it confirm his thoughts on Justin Fields? Because
I think it was straight up confirmation. They know what he does, and that's the thing. It's just that's why he doesn't have to be there. Like, he doesn't have to be there. So that's the thing. So yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to be there because he knows. They understand. I know that was in college and stuff like that, but they didn't make their plans known, right? Like, when they were talking about being a 12, you don't go to pro days because it tips your hand about what you want to do. That doesn't mean that, again, attending the pro day is one thing. Everybody gets that pro day film later. So attending it, whether it's one way or the other, doesn't mean that they're in or out. That's like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you're still going to get that film from the pro day, whether you win or not. And I don't understand why people freak out. Oh, he's going to see Mac. He's not going to see this guy. Honestly, they know exactly what's going on. Maybe they wanted to see with their eyes one more time. Maybe they wanted to talk to Bill one more time.
Exactly.
And you know what? I think they, again, we killed this front office when they were at 3, and they didn't explore every avenue, even if they didn't draft them. Now they're exploring every avenue, and it's a problem. That's the part that kind of gets me a little bit. Like, I'm just like, man, you can't have it both ways. If they're doing due diligence, maybe they just want to cross them off the list. Like, okay, we saw it, done. Get them out of here now. And I don't know if a pro day can do that, but you have to do your due diligence and take a look. Like I said, if he was going to blow them away with this pro day, he had to have like the greatest pro day of all time, like where he was like throwing the ball behind his back, like into like, that's the only way that you can impress. We already know what you are at this point. And it's not that I'm not trying to downplay him. It's just, we know what you are. We know. And a pro day is not going to change that narrative around you. I think Justin Fields needed to do this because there's still that weird crowd out there that is, oh, he's not accurate. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, he can't do that. Stop it, man. Just stop. Come on, bro.
Yeah. With Mac Jones and going to the pro day, it always doesn't have to signal that they're going for Mac Jones as well. There's a ton of talent at Alabama. Like, what happens if Najee Harris falls in the 3rd round? Like, and I know a lot of people aren't high on taking a running back day 2 in the draft, but that's where they're covering. I think it's a great point that you mentioned, that they're trying to cover all cylinders, that they're every single avenue that's a possibility. They're trying to cover that, because when they took Solomon Thomas in 2017, They didn't take that route. It was kind of like if they were dead set on Solomon Thomas, they didn't go see Jamal Adams. They didn't really invest too much into Christian McCaffrey, although Christian McCaffrey was there at Stanford, so it kind of relates. But after that pick ends, it seems like they were there for Solomon Thomas, not McCaffrey. They didn't go invest looking at Deshaun Watson. They didn't go invest looking at Patrick Mahomes. They were dead set. I think Solomon Thomas was the only pro day that Shanahan went to. So now if Shanahan wants to go good. Go see Mac Jones. Like, go see Kellen Mond. No, don't go see Kellen Mond. Good.
Don't go see Ian Book.
Yeah, don't go see Ian Book. Friend of the podcast. But he's probably watching now.
I feel bad because it's like almost anytime he ever gets brought up on any of the streams, and I'm just like, so bad. I hope he doesn't watch. I'm sorry. I don't like to do that.
Yeah, like if you got, he could have cousins that's 49ers fans. He could have
Sorry.
fam. Yeah,
I'm just a person though. Who cares what I say?
A lot of people care what you say, Jay. Come on.
Spread love. Leo. Spread love. I tried to wake up on that vibe because I knew it was going to be a good day today. Like, and then when you start to see the overthrows of Mac Jones, it's not that you want to see him fail, but it's just like, okay, for all you people, he can hit the deep ball every time. No problem. No questions asked. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like you said, covering all cylinders. That's why you go to Mac Jones Pro Day. And it's also rub elbows. There was that relationship with Saban got a little sour. And that's after Reuben Foster, because they felt like they were misled on his character. They haven't selected one Alabama player since selecting Reuben Foster, just because they didn't trust Saban's evaluation. Now that old boy at South Carolina is no longer coaching the team, who's their go-to guy in the SEC? The number one NFL feeder. Who's their go-to guy? So why not go try and rub elbows with Nick Saban? Go sit down and have a dinner with Nick Saban. Go have lunch with Nick Saban. I think that's also very big. That shouldn't get overlooked. Maybe it's a little tinfoil hat on, but it's something that should be thought about, is regaining that relationship, regaining that trust. Because if Bill Belichick, probably the greatest coach of all time, has such that strong relationship with Nick Saban, I think you should as well. If you're Kyle Shanahan and you have that strong relationship with Bill Belichick, just create that elite triangle, that elite coaching triangle. Then you'll be good. You'll be set from there. Mac Jones, no one's wishing for Mac Jones to fail. Nobody's wishing for Mac Jones to fail. But if what happened today solidifies Justin Fields being the pick, we're all happy.
Yeah. And if it's I want Fields, but if he goes to 2, Zach Wilson's fine. Same thing. Trey Lance. So that's why you get to 3. You really assure yourself a stud one way or another, and it's an exciting time. But man, was he impressive today? He was just great.
So we got Keith Murphy here.
Mm-hmm.
I love Trevor Law, but his last 2 playoffs, he has looked the lesser QB twice. Why does his stock ever dip, or why doesn't his stock ever dip? I'm with you on the Fields train. So yeah, Justin Fields simp train started by Jason Aponte.
Oh, goodness gracious. Did I? I didn't. But I'll explain this, Keith. He's the golden boy. He's been anointed. He's the chosen one in everybody's eyes. You hear the comparisons, Andrew Luck with wheels, Peyton Manning with wheels. I don't know if I agree with all of those things, but once you start to hear that and again, the media's behind him. He has the most experience. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that narrative, you don't shake it. Even if you play bad, people are just so this is always been my complaint. What is a negative for one quarterback is not a negative for the other, even if it's the same point. Let me explain. Trey Lance had to have experience. Mac Jones has 1 year. Justin Fields has 1 year. Zach Wilson has 1 year. But you don't hold those as negatives. But when it's against Trey, it's a negative. It's got to be across the board. I understand that you want to say, yeah, he only played 1 game in 2020. But if lack of experience scares you, you got to be scared for all of them, right? But no, you're not, because you want to push whatever narrative. So that's my thing. You could say Trevor Lawrence sometimes stares down one read, sometimes doesn't go through all of those. Those things are there. Everybody has concerns, including Trevor Lawrence. He's probably the surest bet, though. So that's why people don't ever get off of, or get on him like that, I think. And yeah, the media has painted a narrative about him, and people run with it. That's it. That's it, man. That's all it is. I'm just tired of people telling me, oh, this guy doesn't have experience. Yeah, well, neither do these other guys. So take that one off your board if that's an issue for you, because it needs to be that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, so Justin Fields does have 2 years.
He does have 2 years. He has one in Georgia and he has one at OSU.
He has 2 at OSU. OSU. But it's only 5 more starts than Trey Lance. It's only 5. It's not a full season. And Trey Lance also has the same amount of starts as Mac Jones. So I agree with you on that. With Trevor Lawrence, he was appointed as the number 1 overall pick after he took the job at Clemson and after he won the national championship. That's I kind of relate his non-freshman year similar to Tua. Sophomore year, everyone thought Tua was going to win the national championship. He didn't. Junior year, everyone thought Tua was going to win the national championship. Injuries got in the way of that. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence. They thought his sophomore year they were going to win the national championship. He actually got dominated by Joe Burrow. He was the second best quarterback on the field. This year, they thought they were going to win the national championship. He didn't. They got dominated by Ohio State, and he was the second best quarterback on the field. The best quarterback on the field that day was Justin Fields. So with Lawrence, it was just as soon as his freshman year, number 1 overall pick. That's what he was going to be. The 6'6" stature, has a crazy arm, like a solid, strong arm, hit the deep ball, has some zip on it, could throw touch on it. He has mobility. He's a franchise guy that you want as a franchise guy. So he had to play terrible in order for him to not be appointed as the number 1 overall pick. He didn't play terrible. He still played well. Is he a surefire freaking Pro Bowler year 1, 2, or 3? Probably not. No. Is he going to be Andrew Luck? Probably not. It's very rare for a rookie quarterback to come in and take a team, a roster like that. Not just a team, but a roster. You got to look at the roster because the 49ers, when they revamped from the 2018 to the 2019 season, it was a solid roster. That's why they had success after having the second overall pick. With Jacksonville, their roster is not built like the 2019 49ers. Frankly, it's what Andrew Luck did as a rookie to take that team to an AFC championship year 1 after they were unwatchable. Like Indy's roster was not good.
The only reason they got the number 1 pick is because they were so bad.
Yeah, like their roster was not good. There wasn't much change from before Andrew Luck got there to after Andrew Luck got there. They had some pieces, but it wasn't amazing. And to expect Trevor Lawrence to go ahead and do that with a coach that has never coached in the NFL, I'm sure there's going to be tons of growing pains.
And so that's the thing too. It's like even Peyton Manning, he joined the league and he threw 27 interceptions, whatever it was, some ungodly amount. They had Pat McAfee. That's why. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, he took his lumps because that's the thing, right? So you explained it. You just explained it perfectly. Peyton Manning goes to a franchise that never has won anything. And of course, that roster is barren because that's how they got the number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence is about to go to a Jaguars team that is starting from the ground up again. So he's going to take his lumps as well. Mm-hmm. Whoever the 49ers take, they're walking into a top 3 roster. And that's the point. That's what makes this move so dangerous for the 49ers. Usually when you pick at 3, you're very bad. Your roster's bad. You don't have a future. This team can compete right away while having the rookie on the paid scale that he's going to be on. And that's the difference. Even if the Jets are going to go Zach Wilson at 2, then, he's going to have to take his lumps because they're building. there's going to be no such issues for, I mean, not that he won't take his lumps, but there's no such roster issues when it comes to joining the 49ers. So imagine having this dangerous of a roster and being able to add that last piece is very much like Thanos just putting the last stone into the glove at this point. And that's what the whole league is worried about, the 49ers and who they're going to get at quarterback. There's 29 teams that don't want Kyle Shanahan to get his guy. 29 teams are shaking in their boots right now. That's what this should feel like, and that's why you should be excited. But Justin Fields, man, that's it. Just make the pick. Just make the pick. Run right up to the podium. Once you get to 3 and he's there, don't even take any time. Run right up and just go hand that thing off, man. Just go get him. Do it already.
Was there any anything today that impressed you in Justin Fields, or was it just everything you knew?
No, I think I liked how. I think it was more about, I already knew the physical skills because we've already watched him on tape and we've already gone through that. It's more about now trying to scout the integrity, trying to scout the leadership. And I think that's really what I walked away with, the confidence. Just the man walks around like he's the man. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not arrogance. You need confidence. Mm-hmm. You have to be confident to play quarterback. For him to have that this young, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was really looking like, man, this is it. And just everything about the throws, those were all there. We've seen it. We've all seen those things. But now I'm getting a look at what he could be in the quarterback room. And I'm getting a look at how the locker room will respond to somebody with that sort of energy. And it's super exciting. It has to be.
I think we have a special guest that wants to get on right now.
Who's that?
Javi.
Oh, get him in here. Get him in here. We'll talk for a little bit. I'm sure he's excited.
Yeah, he's definitely my go-to Fields guy because he's been on Fields for a minute. Like before I've been on Fields because I thought it was kind of like a false reality when the Niners were sitting at 12, or just the amount of wins when the Niners, had during the season. They were always sitting around that 15 to 12 to 15 range. So I always thought it was kind of out of reality to go ahead and get Justin Fields, but that's been Javi's guy for the start. And let's go ahead and I'm sending you the link now, Javi. So I got you right now.
But yeah, but it was really the confidence. It was really just more the confidence. It was really just, watching a guy who's in control of everything. I understand it's a pro day. There's nothing going on as far as like being hit or anything like that. But, what I also really like too is how he was sliding, because they were showing examples of, pressure's going to be in your face and not running. Right. And I think, again, when people tell me that he runs too much, I get a little upset, because then that means I don't think you've really logged all of his snaps and you've watched him, because he has he slides perfectly in the pocket at times and he goes through reads. Like I think it was Dan Orlovsky. He posted something today that was really, really good. And he's, trying to peddle that Mac Jones stuff or whatever, but he also talked about Justin Fields, and he showed in a play of him. He's like, I don't get where people say he's going to be running first. Looking right, understanding that the high-low has too many bodies on that side, and then he slides in the pocket while keeping himself open as a passer, and then drops a shot into the corner pylon where it's perfect. And that's the stuff that I like when people like one read and run. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is that like, are you sure you know what's going on?
He's not a one read quarterback, and he's kind of the furthest thing from it. And that's the same thing here. Is like everyone wants to say OSU quarterbacks don't work, but Joe Burrow was originally OSU, and Fields was originally Georgia. And I said yesterday why Fields left Georgia. He lost respect for a team that basically played politics, to where Fields was the better quarterback, but they started from because it was his last year there. They didn't want to go ahead and sit from, and that rubbed Fields the wrong way because he's the ultimate competitor. It's basically whatever it takes to win, and understanding that you, as well as other people on the team, know that you're the best option to have there at quarterback, and the team is reluctant to throw you out there. He went ahead and transferred to Ohio State, and he's only played well since he's been at Ohio State, and yet people want to knock it just because it's the school. All right, we got Javi in here.
All right, let's do it. I don't want to go into another school thing. Hey, look at that man's face. He's smiling.
Yo, did you see that throw?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, we saw it.
Rolling left, flipping your hips, dropping the ball across your butt.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I don't ever get excited about quarterbacks. Like, I like Zach Wilson. I like Justin Fields. You guys know this. But I haven't been excited about a quarterback since Deshaun Watson. And Fields, the tape, the physicality, athleticism, and then today's pro day. I know we shouldn't take too much from pro days, but my God. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know how you can watch Mac Jones pro day, both of them, and be like, oh, yeah, Mac's better. And then we saw him in person at the Senior Bowl. He wasn't impressive. From some folks that were down there, like his stock kind of dropped, and all of a sudden it kind of goes up. It's just really weird how some of these narratives get shifted for some players. Like I have my biases, but I wouldn't just say the Fields is QB 4 or 5 or 6. That shit don't make any sense. But yeah, no, Fields is. Man. And what I say on the last time we did a roundtable, March 17th, the Niners would trade up from 12 to 3. I was off by 9 days.
Yeah.
And then
the other thing too, Javi, my bad.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is like, I'm pretty sure Kyle and John and Peters knew Fields was gonna impress at the pro day. So you want to trade up early before the pro day to make sure because that number 3 pick would have probably got a lot more expensive after today.
Yeah,
that's fair,
and then
that's true.
Just real quick to the Mac Jones thing, man. It's so funny. Like I still really don't understand it because we've been talking about it, and it's just like people always tell you, "Oh, he was impressive in Mobile," and everybody was just like, "Whatever." Remember, we were all 3 of us were out, and someone walked up to us and said, "Mac's not playing tomorrow," and we're like, "It's Alabama. Why is it Mac playing?" And literally, the words out of his mouth, he doesn't want his stock to drop.
Yeah,
that's
true.
So that's the stuff the media doesn't tell you. I don't like that. Like, I don't understand. Like, I was there. We were there. All of us were there. I don't get it.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to say his employer, but it was someone connected within what was going on at the Senior Bowl while we were just hanging out. He had a question for Jason, and he was just trying to make elevator talk. And during that elevator talk, he was like, "Oh yeah, sucks. Mac Jones ain't playing." We were like, "Wait, what?" And then he said, "Oh, because he doesn't want his stock to drop." We're like, "Oh."
It was under the guise of his ankle.
Yeah, I was like, "Should we tweet that out?" We're like, "I don't know. I don't even know who this guy is. We'll just let it
out because we don't have a check mark."
No, so you can't. So the only way that you can get things wrong and be okay with it, and everybody will be okay with it, is if you have a check mark.
Yeah. So we were like, yeah, this is the first time we ever met this guy. I'm not going to post that on my page.
Sure.
Like, nah.
For sure.
And next thing you know, first quarter goes by. Well, first he didn't get the start. First quarter went by, second quarter went by, third quarter went by, and we're just like, shit, maybe we should have said something. We would have looked like a galaxy brain.
And the crowd, it's in Alabama. We want Mac. We want Mac in your state. In your state, you didn't even show out. That's how scared you were.
Yeah.
And I think watching Mac, like, I don't want to keep shit on the kid because he has a few. He's gonna be
fine. Yeah,
he's gonna be a starter in the NFL. I just don't. He is. What did Marcus Spears say today? Kyle Shanahan won with Matt Ryan, got to a Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan won with Jimmy Garoppolo, got to a Super Bowl. Neither one of those guys are going to elevate you above the X's and O of the Kyle Shanahan scheme. So why would you look to do that? And then Kyle kind of put a wet blanket on all the, well, Kirk Cousins is your type, the Matt Ryan's are your type. He's like, no, if I had to draw it up, I'd get the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, the best quarterback possible. And he kind of just poo-pooed that whole notion like, yeah, everyone has to look like Kirk Cousins for me to operate with them. No, Kyle's been successful with a different, all types of quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo, for all the shit we give him or that I give him, he's not in Kirk Cousins. They're not in the same, range of people or quarterbacks. So, he's worked with different guys all the time. So I would fully expect him, we talked about it. He saw Russell Wilson kick his ass, Kyler kick his ass, Josh Allen kick his ass, etc. Why would he want to go back to a statuesque quarterback just because they can sit in the pocket? No, he wants someone that's going to be able to extend some plays. Like, he's been saying it for months, for a while.
So the schedule's out now with the 17th game. Let's play tinfoil hat because I'm going to put it on the Twitter on Twitter. Fields versus Burrow, game 17. We finally settle all this. Put the pieces together, people. Play the X-Files music.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
Yeah. But
yeah, I think what you said was a great point, Javi, as far as the 49ers wanted to make this trade before Fields' pro day because they understand his ability. Like Shanahan said, oh, he went to the QB collective once when Fields was in high school. Well, he's very fucking connected and could get everyone's honest opinion of Justin Fields. They're not going to sugarcoat Justin Fields. They're going to give them Kyle's honest opinion. And with that being said, they walked away with that going from 12-3 with giving up not your second and not your comp third this year. After this pro day, they may have had to do that. They may not have had all 9 picks that they had before the trade up. So I think that's a great point because a lot of people were saying, oh, why would it be Justin Fields if he didn't even have his pro day yet? Why would it be that? Now we saw what Justin Fields did. Now it makes sense why they did it before the pro day. Makes a lot of sense.
And if it's not Justin Fields, what I'm worried about now is like the Jets are like, well, shit, could we just take Justin at 2? Because LaFleur's connected as well. But I got to get back to work. I'm on my break. So
thank you for joining, Javi.
Y'all know what to do. Follow it, Javi Vega _. But y'all keep doing the thing, Leo and Jason. I'll hit y'all later.
Yes, sir.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
talk
peace.
to you.
I mean, Leo, we've kind of really touched on all of it, right? 40 minutes, I think we've done, a good enough job. I also want to make sure that I watch the full Mac Jones pro day because I watched little by little while trying to get ready I was really more excited to watch Justin Fields, honestly, because like I said, a pro day wasn't going to change my thoughts on Mac Jones. So you're trying to trying to get your daughter set so she could sit real quick so you get a few minutes so you can watch Justin Fields. But I want to get in and I want to watch because I want to make sure that I see everything. I have a really good grasp on what happened, but I just want to watch one more time before I get back on live tonight. So I want to make sure that I have all the info. So I just, again, it's Fields at 3, man. It's got to be Fields at 3 at this point. It really just has to be, just based on everything and not even being conspiracy theorists. It's just based on what's been said, based on what Kyle described as what he's looking for now, based on how they've changed their thought process on moving up. You didn't move up just to get Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0. You moved up so you can get Wilson, Fields, or Lance. I'm fine. So one way or another, 49ers fans, you're getting a good one, honestly, at this point, and we should all be excited. But man, hard not to see the vision with Justin Fields in this offense, man. And one more thing that I'll say about the offense, Kyle runs so much with motion, RPO. Now he's going to be able to run Debo across, fake handoff to Mostert. Now those linebackers have to freeze another 2 seconds trying to figure out whether Justin Fields has that thing and dips. And now you're just putting pressure on defenses. Godspeed to the NFL trying to defend this offense. For real, Godspeed.
Yeah, I believe the pick is going to be Wilson or Fields. That's just kind of what my gut is telling me. I have to watch more Trey Lance. I stated that yesterday during a live stream. But until I watch more Trey Lance, my gut's just telling me Fields or Wilson, and the 49ers are going to win out either way. I'm glad Javi came in here and mentioned about how much more expensive that pick would have been after Fields' pro day, because I truly believe it would have costed more than what they initially gave up. Now the 49ers look smart for doing the move when they did it. And hey, guys, for all of you still sitting here enjoying just these two guys in gray sweaters, it's very much appreciated while representing both our baseball teams talking about football. Go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to both channels. They're right there, Jason Aponte as well as 49ers Goldmine. Hit that like button. Share it with your friends. Like, I appreciate you guys watching it yourselves, but if you could share it out with your friends and family, that'll definitely go a long way to where, it's Godspeed up to that point. Just like if the 49ers added Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, we could possibly do the same type of thing here. Do you have any last messages, Jason?
Nope. Super excited and just want to let people know Tonight, 9 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. West Coast. I'm going to be joined by Eric Crocker, Grant Cohn, Akash Anavarathan, Vish, Al Sacco, Rich Madrid. We're running the roundtable back. Maybe some more guests. Still trying to pull everything in. But make sure you tune into that tonight. That should be a really, really good one, honestly.
Yeah, so definitely tune in. I know I will. I can't wait for Grant Cohn to mention Kellen Mond at 3. I'm looking forward to that. I'm just messing with you, Grant. But yeah, hey, appreciate all of you. Thank you, Celts, right here for the tip as well.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you soon. Have a great Tuesday.